Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs much like you achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various internet marketing techniques and methods. This show is coming to you live from WCAP in and around the Boston area. We're physically located in Lowell. However, we have a reach of 1.7 million people. I do a couple of different things with this show. One is sometimes I'll bring on subject matter experts, which I've been doing this show for almost 2.5 years now, and I've brought on several billionaires, industry titans, 21-time New York Times best-selling authors, Sharon Lechter and Greg Reed and Alex Stern and a whole bunch of other people, the founder of UGG Boots, Brian Smith, and a whole bunch of other people, so they can tell you how they achieve success, the things that they overcame. Now, those are really huge titans, and other people are, they've had a lot of success as well. So sometimes we'll bring those people on too. And other times I'll just come in here and I'll give you tips and suggestions on things you need to grow your business. And today that's what I'm going to do. In these 2 or possibly 3 sections, depending upon the length of each section, today we're going to talk about local SEO, which is super important if you're in business locally. Even if you're doing business regionally and nationally, if you're not crushing it locally, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, right? So, we want to make sure that you're getting and serving as many people as possible, right? So you don't want to not be known in your own area. So we're going to talk today about local SEO. In the first section, we're going to talk about what is it, why you need it, and then I'm going to give you some tips on exactly how to achieve success with your local SEO. And then in the second section, I'm going to talk about advanced SEO techniques. So, and also part of that, I'm going to talk to you about major mistakes that people make with their local SEO if they're not doing it correctly. So, in the first part, again, we're going to talk about what is local SEO, why you need it, and then how to achieve it, okay? And then the second section is all going to be about advanced and then some major mistakes not to do. All right, so what is local SEO? This may seem pretty common sense, okay? But first of all, SEO, for those who don't know, stands for search engine optimization. And why is search engine optimization important? Statistics that I have read multiple times, multiple locations, clearly say that 11%, if you take every penny, every dollar, if you take all the money spent online, and let's say it equals $1, every penny of that, 11 cents, is through social media. 89 cents is through the search engines. So if your sole marketing techniques are all circled around social media, you're leaving 89 cents of every dollar on the table. That's every lotion, potion, pair of shoes. If somebody's buying a coach, buying a service, everything combined, 11 cents of every dollar is on social media. 89 cents of every dollar spent online is spent through the search engines. So where should you be spending your time and money? The search engines, and then just cut and paste and copy and post your stuff on social media for free. Don't bother doing paid stuff over there. That's a whole nother ball of wax, and I can do whole stuff on telling you how to do that if you're going to pay, how to have more success there. So today we're going to talk about what is local SEO. So what is local SEO? Now, I've written material, so you're going to hear me reading some written material because oftentimes I'll kind of go off in stories, right? Because people have told me that people connect better with stories than just statistics and facts. So I'm going to read what I've written so I can kind of have a good outline. So when I do go off into my stories, I can always come back, right? Because there is some core content I want to make sure you guys get. And this is all totally free. And just so you know, my name's Ron Couming from RCS Online Solutions, physically located in Billerica. I have clients all around the country. I speak on stages all around the country. I've been in books. I've plenty of stuff. So that my accolades are, just Google me, Couming, Ronald. What is local SEO? Local SEO is an online marketing practice to make local businesses discoverable in search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing, and even Yelp. It combines the power of on-page optimization, content, and link building to rank your business's website on the first page of Google. Keep in mind, though, even though I didn't mention it here, YouTube, while not necessarily local, can certainly be used for local SEO. And that is the second largest search engine out there, also owned by Google, by the way. So to accomplish this goal will allow you to accurately target. When you accomplish this goal, you will accurately target customers in your area who are looking for solutions that you can provide. By following the steps that I outline in this guide, you will be able to quickly attract dozens of new customers and develop a more recognizable brand quicker than ever before. It is not a simple or an easy task, especially if you're new to SEO, but you will get the hang of it. And it will be worth it, because once your website shows up on the first page of Google, your revenue, brand recognition, and customer base will never be the same. Believe me when I tell you, if you're in business, and you're in business to serve people, you're not in business to sell them your services. You're in business to serve them, right? Not sell them. So, and if you can do this right, your business is going to explode. All right? So why is local SEO so important? I want you to imagine for a second that you run a local hamburger place in, let's say, Boston, Massachusetts. How are you going to attract clients to your local business? Obviously, you can start traditional marketing like flyers, banners, and paid advertising in local magazines. And while these methods may be sufficient to build a base of local clientele, they are not going to be enough to create explosive growth that you are probably desiring. For example, let's say that there are a businessman from Worcester, Massachusetts, traveling to Boston to attend a meeting. They certainly didn't get your flyers, right? They certainly didn't read a local newspaper. They're just driving into town. So after they drove for several hours and attended a long, probably dull meeting with their supervisors or whatever, and he happens to want a hamburger, or she. He doesn't want any burger. He wants the best darn burger in Boston, Massachusetts. So what does he do? He hops on his phone and he Googles the best burger in Boston, Massachusetts, and then decides where to get his fix of beefy goodness based upon the local search. And keep in mind, when you're doing your local SEO, people are talking into their phones now. You know, you got to structure your search engine optimization. You got to structure your marketing. You got to structure your material in such a way that people are actually searching for things. You know, no more. You know, you can't do it like people were doing it even 3 or 5 years ago. Your success won't be the same. So he types in what's the best burger in Boston, Massachusetts, or whatever city it is, and poof, here you come up, right? So that's what local SEO is. So let's talk about a checklist. Now, these are the core components to get ranked. These aren't the only things you need to do, but these are going to be your core components. Local SEO is comprised of several different key factors, ranging from basics of creating a consistent NAP to link building to on-page optimization. NAP stands for name, address, phone number, and that's very important. And then also link building. Link building is probably the single biggest factor that Google uses in determining who they're going to pull up in rank results, as long as the links are natural and they're not spammy. Years ago, people were just getting a whole bunch of crappy links, and Google changed the criteria on the links they give credit to, but links are still massively important. Don't let anybody who tells you they're not is trying to sell you another service in its place. And then on-page optimization, super, super important. That's probably, after you get your website built, we just finished 3 websites for people on Friday, sent out, got their website analysis, and now we're doing their on-page SEO starting this week. And their on-page SEO is different. You build a website and then you do your on-page SEO. On-page SEO, I've done articles on that in episodes, and I can do more. You can certainly contact me at Ron, R-O-N, at rcsonlinesolutions.com if you want to know more about either NAP, link building, or on-page SEO specifically, okay? So getting back to this, we know that local SEO is basically consisted of these three things, but how do you maximize those and get your Google My Business? So we're going to go into detail now, okay? So get your pen and paper out, and if by chance you don't have the ability to have your pen and paper out, please know that this episode, as all episodes, are archived on this radio station, WCAP 980, based in Lowell, 980.com, WCAP980.com AM. And my website, rcsonlinesolutions.com, under media. Just go to the media tab and then you'll see radio show. So you can go back and listen to this episode. So even if you have a pen and paper out and I talk too fast the Boston way, right, and you can't write something down or you don't understand it, just go back and re-listen to the episode, okay? This is just totally free information, and it's really going to transcend your business. And if by chance you don't have the skill set or the time to do it, give me a call, okay? 978-606-5432 is my phone number. But anyhow, so I'm going to give you 7 critical components that you've got to do to get ranked locally, okay? And again, there are other things, but these are the things that you have to do, okay? And the very first is to optimize Google My Business page. One of the first steps to get your website to the first page of Google for local keywords is to claim your Google My Business page by following the steps laid out in this article. And here's an example of what you need to do. Once your business is claimed, there are a few key points that you need to remember to optimize your Google My Business page to ensure maximum SEO impact. First and foremost, you need to write a long, properly formatted description for your website that is peppered with required links. Your Google My Business page will often be the first thing that potential clients and customers will see, making it essential that your description is unique, memorable, and compelling. And remember, make that description about them, not about you, not about we, not about I, okay? So if you look at my website, here's a great example. If you go to my website, RCS Online Solutions, and you just go to the page, you'll see on the very first page, the first thing you'll see, attract, convert, and retain your ideal customers and clients. Boom. The customers and clients, the people who land on my website, they don't care that I've spoken across the country. They don't care that I'm a radio show host. They don't care that I have hundreds of clients and have made, people millions. First, they do care that I made people millions because they want to make millions too, right? But they don't care about me. They care about what I'm going to do for them. Let's keep it real. WIFM. What's in it for me? That's what your customers and clients are looking for. So make sure when you fill out that description, you're coming from a place of what the client wants. It's the solution to their problem. So make sure that you're coming from their perspective, not yours, because they really don't care about you. They care about if you can solve their solution and their problem. I mean, if you're the solution to their problem. All right, so now your Google My Business page, we already did that. With your description written, you now need to choose the correct category for your business. Rushing this step is one of the most critical errors I see small businesses make. The key to success with this step is to find a balance between selecting all relevant categories without appearing spammy or having irrelevant or semi-relevant categories and selections. And a big reason for that is bounce rate. All right, I told you I'm going to go off a little bit here, okay? So I'm educating you on like a huge level. People pay me, hundreds of dollars an hour to even talk to me, all right? So so if you're in too many different categories, and it's not a fit for them, they're looking for a specific solution, and they click thinking that because now you come up in a category that they think you belong in, right? So they click on it and they hit your website and they see that it's not what they're looking for. They're going to leave really quick, and that's what's called a bounce rate, okay? So if your bounce rate is high, meaning that people are on there for a short period of time, Google is going to, backlinks is like a super important factor in terms of who they're going to pull up. But after you get pulled up, then it all becomes about user experience. So if Google is bringing you up and then the user is bouncing off your site quick, right, then their user experience wasn't good, right? They didn't get the result they were looking for. Google is a business. Google is there for the people who are doing searches, who are looking for solutions to their problem. Google is not there for the for the business owners, for us, right? And I say Google, but it's all the search engines, okay? I just keep talking about Google instead of mentioning all of them. So remember, it's about user experience. So make sure that it's relevant, because if it's not and it's spammy and they're hitting a bunch of and you're getting a bunch of traffic, but people are leaving quick, right? It's going to hurt you. It's not going to help you, because it's going to give you a high bounce rate. And then Google's going to stop pulling you up because you're giving a bad user experience to its people, okay? So after you've taken care of that, right, the next, simply follow these steps for your Google My Business page, and it will be ready to rock and roll. All right, add as many relevant pictures as possible. Add a NAP, name, address, and phone number, consistent with the NAP on your website. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Add your hours of operation. Include real customer reviews, preferably with links to those customers' websites if it's relevant, or something where people can actually verify. But make sure they're real, and you don't want, like me, I do websites, social media, email marketing, SEO. We crush it. We get people on the first page often before they even pay us. But if somebody goes on there and they're a client of mine and they say, Ron's a great guy, he answered my call quick, that's great, but who cares, right? They want to know, right? Did they get the website that they wanted? Did they get the results from their SEO? Did their customer? So make sure that the reviews you get talk about your services, not so much. Obviously, customer experience with you and customer service is important, but at the end of the day, it's about results, right? Results. You either have reasons or you have results in life, right? So make sure that your results, that your testimonials talk about results. Let's say we hired Ron Couming to create a website for us, and he was attentive, descriptive, creative, and at the end we got the best website we've had in our 17-year existence. And in the last 4 months we've gotten an average of 9 new clients a month, or something like that. Whatever the case may be, but just make sure it's real, but make sure it talks about your results and your services, not just that you're a great guy or woman or whatever. All right, so now number 2 is a consistent NAP. Having consistent NAP, name, address, and phone number across all your different channels is local SEO 101. And I can't tell you how many people that I've seen make these errors, right? And if they change locations, or if they've changed company names, or anything has changed and they don't go back and change them, then it's inconsistent. And that's a flag for the search engines. And remember, Google and all the other search engines, they're not people. They're code. there are people who work there, but the search engines themselves are code behind the scenes that, if this, then that, right? I've been writing code longer than I care to admit. I like to tell people I'm 29, but I think I started writing code probably, well over 30 years ago. So that doesn't fly much anymore, right? So it's just if this, then that. So if this, then that. So if somebody's looking for this, then that, you know what I mean? So it's just a bunch of code. So make sure your NAPs are consistent all across different channels, all right? And so it's one of the most important local SEO factors that many marketers overlook. And it's kind of really simple, but just make sure that it's consistent. And the other thing is ensuring your NAP is not only consistent, but identical on your Google My Business pages and all your social media accounts. It can be different for, many different reasons or whatever the case may be, but just make sure that they're all the same. And here's here's an example. A correct NAP would be Joe's NAP Cleaning Service, 555 Main Street, Boston, Massachusetts, with your zip code and your phone number. And then a wrong one would be with the wrong phone number, simply, right? So, if the phone number is wrong, and I can't tell you, I've called a couple of companies where I actually called the number, even hotels, like I'm flying, I'm going to a couple of events. I'll be speaking in front of 2,000 people in L.A. Later in February, right? And I was trying to book a hotel, and the phone number I got was wrong. And that's at a hotel, and that was a pretty nice hotel too. It wasn't, a local 8 or a Motel 6. So it happens, right? So we talked about NAPs. I don't want to beat them to death, okay? So reviews. Customer reviews are not only required to succeed on local SEO, but they also are required to succeed in the bigger game of business. Let's look at it this way. If they have a good direct influence on your search ranking and also provide a referral source and social proof that will help convince your customers to choose your companies over competitors. Let's say everything is consistent. You and there's a competitor 5 miles away from you, okay? Somebody who does the same type of services that you do. He's 5 miles away from you, and you guys have been in business the same amount of time. You do the same things, but you have, 30, 25, 15 positive reviews, right? He has 3. Just by the sheer volume, Google's more than likely going to give more weight to the person who has the more reviews, right? So you're going to come up above him or her, and then the potential customer or client, and seeing 17 positive reviews is going to just naturally, probably, I would think that they've been in business longer and they've done better business. So I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to go with the person with the 17 reviews. I'm probably not even going to call the other person. So that's something to consider. So, and I have a bunch of charts here too. In the description, like I said, this will be up on WCAP 980's website in the archive section, and also RCS Online Solutions website, and also up on my YouTube channel, Ronald Couming. And in the description, all the stuff that I've talked about without my interruptions of stories will be in the description, as well as there'll be some graphs and charts and pictures that you guys can look at and get a little more descriptive stuff. So make sure you get some good reviews. And then Google Maps. While this particular step may not directly influence your search engine's rankings, it will massively improve your customer's experience and streamline the process of finding and buying from your store, or just knowing where you're at. Like, my business is basically online. I have customers all over the country. I have in other countries as well. I also have businesses, other like social media companies in Canada that hire us to do their SEO and websites for their customers, because they don't do that. I have website companies in other countries or across this country that don't do SEO that hire us to do that for their country, for their customers. So the map is more important, like if you're local and people are going to physically drive to your location, but I would absolutely have it there because it just gives you more credibility, especially in the eyes of the search engines. It makes it, like you're a real business, right? And you are a real business, so show up like that, right? So all that you need to do is provide a detailed description of where you will find your location, where to park, and how to find the front door. So that's really, it's not that hard, you know what I mean? Just you see it on most websites, so I'm not going to beat that one to death. Number 5, create killer local content. A big mistake I see among many local marketers is that they neglect creating and promoting killer local relevant content. Just because you are running a website that is based on creating and selling information doesn't mean that content marketing is not pivotal to your SEO success. In recent years, changes in the modern market and in Google's search algorithms have made content marketing almost synonymous with SEO. The relationship between content marketing and SEO can be described as follows. Hi, my name is SEO and I need you too. Compared with, hi, I'm content marketing, I do that for you. Meaning that if you want to succeed in local SEO, you need to be creating a slew of fresh content that provides a lot of value to your audience and customer base yesterday. Nothing makes Google happier than crawling your site and finding it filled to the brim with new high-quality content that local users love. Now, this radio show, this episode, as I told you, is going to be on my YouTube, going to be on WCAP, and it's going to be on my website. It's all about local SEO. I've talked about Boston Burger Joint is the example I gave. I currently live in Billerica. But so when this goes up, I'm giving out free content, but guess what? This episode, if I do 2 or 3 episodes, this is fresh content that I'm giving away quality information to people. When these videos go up, I'm getting backlinks from YouTube. I'm getting backlinks from this website, from this radio show. This radio show is getting backlinks from my website because I'm linking to it and getting backlinks from YouTube. The customers are getting great free information. So it's as simple as that. I'm just sitting here talking about free information that I'm giving away, but I'm creating 2 or 3 pieces of fresh content every week. It takes me an hour. Most of the time I call in too, because I'll be like, next Monday I'll be in Miami. I'm going to 10X down in Miami, so I'll be in Miami for a week or 2, 10 days. So I just call in. Today I drove in because I wanted better quality for the radio, because when I call in I'm using my cell phone, right? So here I'm using their mics. But so it's really easy to create content. You can go on Facebook, talk for 3 to 5 minutes about your product or your service, download it, upload it to YouTube, post it on your website as a blog article. It's not hard. So let's skip to number 6, social media. And we have 7 here, and then I'll be going into advanced tips. So number 6, many people believe that SEO is all about on-page factors and link building, but nothing could be further than the truth. While those are certainly super important factors and you will not have success without those, it's not the whole picture. Your search engine rankings can effectively be interpreted as an aggregate performance of every platform where your company has built a presence. And none of these platforms are more important than your success than SEO. According to a survey by Moz, social media appears to be responsible for 5% of your overall search engine performance. 5% is a lot. And while the experts continue to debate whether or not that statement is accurate portrayal of Google's algorithms, the fact remains that social media is one of the best ways to generate buzz for your brand, share your message, and rapidly expand your customer base. But, do it organically, do it free, because when you start getting into the paid, right, if you're not doing custom lists and you don't know what you're doing, I can't tell you how many people I know have spent thousands of dollars on Facebook ads and other companies' ads, and because they didn't do the ads right. It's not that the platforms didn't work, so don't sue me there, Facebook or anybody else, but because they didn't position, they didn't create their ads correctly, they didn't make a single penny. Now, naturally, they'll blame and say, well, it didn't work, but no, it's you didn't work. You didn't do it right. You know what I mean? You're a photographer. What are you doing Facebook ads for? It's not what you do. You delegate that. You pay somebody else who does that to do it for you, right? And if you think you can't afford it, well, you just lost $2 or $3 grand. You could have paid somebody $300 or $400 to do it for you, and you would have made $5 or $10 grand, right? So make sure you focus on your social media. So if you're not on social media, then you're missing out on thousands of dollars in potential revenue and constant customers. Remember, when working with social media, you need to engage engage with your audience. And I'm not talking about simply posting about a coupon post, right? 10% off for the next 5 people. You got to engage, and there's some people that I could mention that really do it well about engaging. Just ask questions. I did one just to show people about engaging, and I asked people, I took a picture. I had an ice cream, right, over at a great ice cream place around here, homemade ice cream, my weakness. And I took a picture of it, and I mentioned what kind of ice cream it was and how much I loved it. And I just asked a question, what's your favorite ice cream? I had like 80 responses, but every time somebody responded, I responded. They said chocolate, or let's say they said chocolate, and I said, "Oh, chocolate, great. Is that with or without, fudge, or do you have Jimmy's on that? If they said, oh, I like pistachio nuts in this, and I said, okay, is that with or without caramel, or whatever it is? I just add a follow-up question. Then they had a follow-up question. So let's say I had 80. Then I add a question. There's 160. Then they responded to those questions, right? Now you're at 240. Then I asked another question. Wow, that's great. How often do you eat ice cream? You know what I mean? So I didn't beat to death the ice cream, but then I switched it. So I had like 1,000, just, altogether it was like 800 and something, 890, 900 and something. And all I did was ask, what's your favorite ice cream? But, you can do, and it has nothing to do with my business, but I was just doing that as a point. So whatever your business is, ask something relevant to it. How do you do this? What is this? What's your biggest problem? How have you overcome this? What's the best book you've read? Whatever it is, because even that ice cream example I gave you, even though that isn't related to my business, the algorithms don't know that. All the algorithms know is I had all that engagement. So my next post that did have to do with my business got a bigger boost because all of a sudden the algorithms see me as somebody who people like and find relevant, right? So learn the system, people. And then lastly, number 7 is mobilization. Mobile optimization. Nowhere are marketers dropping the proverbial ball than in the area of mobile optimization. In fact, over 60% of small companies do not have a website that's fully optimized for mobile viewing. And that's insane since Google has made it mandatory over 2 years ago. I think it was April 21st, 2016, right? Or 2017. They made it mandatory that you had to have a mobile-friendly website, right? Remember, it's all about user experience. More people are using tablets and cell phones to do their searches. And you can't, I don't even think you can buy a theme today. You go to ThemeForest, you go to any one of these other places. I don't get a commission from ThemeForest, so you know what I mean? But you go to any one of these places and you buy a theme. I don't think you can even get a theme that isn't mobile friendly. And there are some website companies out there that will give you a website that's not mobile friendly and then charge you to make it mobile friendly. That's not cool. So if you're going to a website company, make sure you're getting a mobile friendly website. So that's it for the on-page SEO, okay? So those 7 factors, like I told you, the next section, okay, we're going to go to a break now, and then in the next section, I'm going to talk to you about advanced SEO, but I want to let you know, I want to remind you that this episode, I gave you a lot of information, some stories that maybe I hope they supported and gave, they were relevant to what I was talking about and didn't distract you. But either way, you can go back and listen to this episode again at WCAP980's website.com or RCSonlinesolutions.com website, right? Just go to media and then click on radio show, and this episode will be up in like 3 or 4 days. And also you can contact me at Ron, R-O-N, at rcsonlinesolutions.com, 978-606-5432. And we'll be back in a minute with the advanced local SEO to boost your rankings even faster. You've been listening to Ron Couming of RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs just like you attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success using various internet marketing techniques and methods.